So often I find that people believe in Coda, they believe it can help out, but they're not even aware of how far they can extend it and how much can really touch these different areas and aspects of their businesses. And so part of what I do is just helping open people's eyes to see that actually can be automated with Coda. You actually can make that easier for yourself with Coda. You actually can send those messages with Coda. And then the other half is like helping build those tools. Hey, I'm Scott. I started building packs without any technical background, and now I make packs for a living. I come from public education, so I was a public high school teacher with students with disabilities. And that kind of started my whole entry into this world of no code, and specifically Coda. Just learning a lot about on the job, realizing there's so many things within this job that are taking me away from students that are redundant, and I just knew in the back of my head, although I didn't have the skill set for it yet, that they could have been automated. How can I automate these parts of my job? And at that time, the only real tools I knew of was essentially Google Sheets and Google Docs. And they just weren't doing what I needed them to do, or just in order to solve problems with it, there was just like advanced, I had to write scripts, or people were telling me it just wasn't possible. Packs have always been a part of my Coda workflow. I think my initial solution was essentially contacting teachers, asking them for feedback on students. And so I initially started using the Gmail pack to send those emails. I've always been a competitive athlete for many, many years, both running and cycling. And insight into just how I'm doing is really motivating to me. I don't just go out there to leisurely have fun. Like the aspects of athletics that are fun to me are pushing myself and kind of beating my previous times and kind of competing in that way. The building blocks that Coda gives you itself allows you to kind of tweak things to your liking, whereas other solutions just felt too stoic, and it felt kind of like you had to match their narrative, or you had to like how they did things, whereas Coda lets you do things in your own way. Writing these packs were the first pieces of JavaScript and code that I had ever written. The community, the Coda community, there's a couple people on there where I would just post questions about like OAuth. Like, I don't even know what OAuth is, can someone explain? And people would just generously give of their time to help me kind of understand that whole process, how that works, and get me on my feet with it. The fact that me building packs and building Coda docs is actually turning into income and revenue is something I still haven't really fully processed it. I remember back early on when I was a teacher, it'd be late at night and my son would be asleep and I'd be like tinkering on Coda docs, and my wife would kind of have this like, why are you spending all your time on this? And those questions aren't asked anymore, because now it's really cool to see it come to fruition. Like all this time that I've invested in learning this platform and learning other things is actually turning into viable income for my family. So it's really cool.